What is going on, everyone? It is me, the Lone Vault Wanderer, and welcome to my B3 Week collaboration series. In this video, I will be asking all of your favorite Bethesda YouTubers several questions about what we will likely see, and also what we want to see of Elder Scrolls at Bethesda's upcoming E3 press conference. To get involved, I would love for all of you to provide your answers to the questions I've asked all of these great YouTubers in the comments below. Also, please share this video around on Twitter and Facebook using the hashtag B3Week. And also subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified for when every video in this B3 Week series goes live. Additionally, using both annotations on screen and URLs in the description below, I will provide links to all of the other videos in the B3 Week series as soon as they are uploaded to my channel. Please click on them to hear more Bethesda E3 2016 predictions from your favorite YouTubers, whose channels are also linked in the description below. Please subscribe to them all. So with all that out of the way, let's get this video started.
My predictions for Elder Scrolls. I think if they mention the Elder Scrolls, it's going to be something for Elder Scrolls Online. I have a feeling it's a little early to actually see anything of the Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda are notoriously coy about releasing any suggestions or any even, hints as to what's going to be in the game too early. Usually it's a few months before release. And I don't think we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6 this year or next. So my prediction is anything to do with Elder Scrolls will be the Elder Scrolls Online. However, if I'm wrong, that is the one thing I would like to see them announce at the E3. That the Elder Scrolls 6 is coming, and it is coming soon. That would be awesome. My bold yet insane prediction for the E3 and Elder Scrolls is that they will announce they're going to remake the first 4 Elder Scrolls games using the Fallout 4 engine. And those games will all have voice protagonists.
I want some news on the next Elder Scrolls. I know everyone says they've got a certain timescale between games. It doesn't really apply the same way it did. Bethesda's gained so much notoriety over the past few years. I think at this point they can afford to announce things earlier. Even just saying, we're making it. Because we know you're making it, we just want to hear you say it.
Elder Scrolls is going to have a very big presence at E3 2016, I believe. And so for me, I'm really expecting to see Bethesda kind of come out of the gates and show a lot of ES stuff, such as ES Legends. As for what I actually want to see, a potential remaster. That's what I really want to see. If I had to pick a game, it would be Morrowind. What I most likely see happening is based off popularity, Skyrim, which I don't know how that's going to work for PC players, but I definitely want to see more in the ES universe. One bold prediction I'm going to go with is the recent rumor of the Elder Council game that's been circling about the internet. I'm hoping that that rumor is true. It sounds like a game that could be treated like a Tropico or a Civilization game in the ES universe, and I think there's actually a lot of potential there when you really think about it. So for me, that sounds exciting, and that sounds like something that a lot of fans could get behind. Even though it's a spin-off title, I know a lot of ES fans are waiting for their Elder Scrolls 6, but I think this will be one more good spin-off title for them before they get what they exactly want.
Today we're going to be discussing Elder Scrolls, what we think is going to happen at E3, what we want to happen at E3.
And of course, we want Elder Scrolls 6 to happen, like everyone wants that to happen. But the likelihood of that? Yeah,
It's
I don't
small.
think so. It's pretty small. I think it would be a massive curveball if they did swing that out straight after, another big AAA release of Fallout 4 just before it. So I doubt it will be anything big like that. I feel like there might be a bit of Elder Scrolls Legends stuff. The biggest thing I feel like they could do is like a remaster or something.
Yeah, there's been rumors of like remasters and things like that, but our opinion on a remastered, and I mean maybe this is selfish, but it's just like, that's a lot of effort. Put that effort into Elder Scrolls 6.
Pretty much.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and I just don't see how it'd be. Maybe unless there was some sort of like Skyrim upgrade.
Yeah, with an extra DLC.
That would be cool. I'd be down for that with a graphical upgrade and
that would be satisfactory.
and then they could put on like the whole mod availability thing that they're doing with Fallout 4 for consoles. They could do that with Skyrim on the next gen consoles on PS4, Xbox One.
For Elder Scrolls at Bethesda's E3, I predict that we'll see more of Elder Scrolls Online shown off, especially because the Dark Brotherhood is releasing during E3 week. And so it just makes sense since it's coming to consoles. It's already on PC, but it is coming to consoles, and so I'm sure we'll see a lot of that in action, them showing that off. And also, we'll definitely see some Elder Scrolls Legends, since the company already showed that off at PAX East this year. It just makes sense that they would come back and show it off at the biggest show, at E3, and show us more of what's going on with that game. And after they're done talking about those games, I'm really hoping that we'll see an Elder Scrolls 6 sneak peek. And I think this is definitely something that's possible, and I really don't think that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out this year. It just doesn't make sense for them to release, Fallout 4 and then Elder Scrolls the same following year. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I think there'd be definitely at least a 2-year gap in between years. But man, I would really be excited to see some kind of sneak peek from Elder Scrolls 6, some kind of preliminary art, some concept art even would really make me happy. My extremely crazy bold prediction for Elder Scrolls, of course, is that the 6th Elder Scrolls is announced at this E3 and is releasing this fall in the similar fashion that they did for Fallout. I know it was kind of teased before, people were kind of expecting it, and for this one, I don't think it's going to happen. Personally, I think this is a crazy prediction. I could be wrong in a week from now when Elder Scrolls 6 is announced, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to wait a little bit longer, give themselves more time to polish, but really, I just can't wait to hear anything about Elder Scrolls 6 at this E3.
Yes, The Elder Scrolls My Lifeblood. A torrent of new information is imminent in regards to The Elder Scrolls Legends. Expect to see gameplay, mechanics, matchups, and even a release date. Hell, we've waited long enough. Sadly, I do not think a new Elder Scrolls game is to be announced, let alone released anytime soon. However, the next actual single-player sandbox Elder Scrolls game is due. There have been whispers on the wind about an Oblivion/Skyrim remaster, which I don't want to see. If they did remaster an Elder Scrolls game, it should be Morrowind or earlier, as I can already make Skyrim and Oblivion look amazing with mods. I'd much prefer to play an old game redone instead of replaying something we recently received but with better graphics. Again, mods. I can already do that. This does produce an interesting thought though, Skywind. Skywind has not yet been released, and it is a massive community-driven remaster of Morrowind: The Elder Scrolls 3. Hopefully Bethesda and the Skywind team get together and make this an official release, so those poor bastards on the Skywind team can reap the fruits of their labor. This would also give us a top-notch remaster of an older Elder Scrolls game, and if this isn't the case, then Inception, Bethesda, take my idea and make it happen.
While nothing would make me happier than to have The Elder Scrolls 6 announced this year, I have a feeling that's not gonna happen. With Fallout 4 less than a year old and still plenty of DLC likely still on the way, a new Elder Scrolls game in the main series is probably still a couple years away. However, I'm expecting Bethesda will be showing off a few things in regards to the Elder Scrolls series as a whole. Last year we had announcements about new Elder Scrolls Online content and the premiere of Elder Scrolls Legends. This year, I'd expect we hear about a couple new Elder Scrolls Online expansions, bringing even more of Tamriel into the online world space, hopefully letting us explore more of Elsewhere, Skyrim, and Valenwood. With the Elder Scrolls Legends being relatively new, I wouldn't be surprised if Bethesda announced their long-term plans for the game going forward.
Along with many others, I am also hoping for the similar rotation of Elder Scrolls, then Fallout, then Elder Scrolls. Now, I'm not saying they should do what they did with Fallout 4 and be like, hey, we're releasing it in a couple months. I'm just hoping for a little something to start the hype train's engine, and not the Elder Scrolls Legends. I see what they're trying to do, and I totally respect that, but there seems to be a lot less patience for games that simulate something you would instead play on a tabletop. I'm looking at you, Hearthstone. And once that's already been established in a digital format, there's really only so much you can do to make your version different. So, the Elder Scrolls 6? That would be great. You know what, I think I'll make this bold prediction totally backwards, and say they're going to make a mobile something. A mobile hack-and-slash platformer in which you run around as Sheogorath with the Wabbajack, and going off on some wild adventures with Sanguine in an effort to mildly inconvenience the rest of the Daedric princes. I just hope for a single-player Elder Scrolls adventure of some kind.
What I predict we'll see for the Elder Scrolls at the BE3 conference is some mention of ESO's new DLC, Dark Brotherhood, that is actually launching on console the same day as the show, so I'm assuming we're gonna see something for that, maybe just a trailer, maybe some gameplay or something like that. We'll also most likely see some Elder Scrolls Legends if that's your cup of tea, not mine, but maybe yours. Now, what I would like to see at the conference is a remaster for Skyrim or even a Elder Scrolls collection. Now, this is very unlikely, but it would definitely give the Elder Scrolls community the boost that it needs alongside these small launches of less popular titles like Legends and ESO, which both aren't really my cup of tea, but it is something unlikely. Now for my bold prediction for the Elder Scrolls at the conference, I think we'll see a standalone game get teased in some way. And you may think that this is a 1 in a million chance, but it's totally, definitely, 100% happening this year at E3.